Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at NVDA. We closed at 182.02, and as you can see, y'all, we found support here around the 183.53. Resistance is around the 182.80, 182.14. Now, breaking this 182.14 area for NVIDIA today, we could very well come back to 182.56, and breaking that brings us back to 182.93. Possibly have trouble 183.05, breaking that 183.30, and breaking the 183.30 for NVIDIA today, 183.46. Now, should we break that 183.74, 183.92, those are possible areas of rejection. Now, back to the downside under 181.53. Downside, the next level we have is 181.28, breaking that 181.12, which is the ATR trailing stop. Kind of close to an area I have marked here at 181.12, 181.07. Let me rephrase that. 181.12, 181.07. That could be a strong area of support for NVIDIA. Again, not financial advice. However, breaking that 181.07, we could possibly find support 180.78, breaking that 180.31 again here at 180.12, and should we break that 178.93, breaking that brings us back to around the 179.51. So 179.51. So what's interesting, I think that's where my mind is with NVIDIA today, is it is an inside day candle, meaning if we break above the 183.05, we have an upside target today for NVIDIA, 183.99. Now back to the downside under 179.46. The downside target today is the 178.78. So NVIDIA is an inside day candle, and I just want to see how much NVIDIA normally runs per day. Disregard this daily chart, $4.70. So NVIDIA normally moves $4.70. Again, that could be in either direction. So if you're trading NVIDIA today, I said often, y'all, trade carefully, mark your levels, and once it goes against your why, your reason for getting in the trade, get out. So we're now looking at AMD. We closed at 180.95. It too seems to be trading in this little gathering spot. You see our support area, 180.56. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble here at 181.26, and breaking that 181.74, which was a resistance area here. So breaking that 181.74, we could possibly have trouble again somewhere around 182.62. Breaking that brings us back to 183.24, which puts us in this area here. Now breaking that brings us back to the level of 183.97, breaking that level 184.43, and again 185.26. So those are possible areas of resistance for AMD as of now. Back to the downside, breaking this area of support. You see we were here, right? So breaking this area at the 180.56. Y'all see the ATR trailing stop, which is not far away, kind of close, 180.24, a level I have marked at 180.14, 180.12, somewhere around that area. It could be a strong area of support for AMD. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble again, 179.50, 178.98, and breaking that, y'all see that 200 EMA is right at a level that we have marked at 178.63. I love to see that, just simple support and resistance, right? Now should we break this area here of support at that 178.63, we could possibly come back to 177.60 for AMD. So those are possible areas of support and resistance for AMD today. So if that is something that you trade, I said often, y'all, trade carefully. Once it goes against your why, get out. So we're now looking at Meta, and Meta closed at 782.13. As you can see, resistance is around this level of 785.87. 785.87. Support, we're going to mark that here, 784. 28. This is our support area, which is kind of where our 5 EMA is now. So back to the upside, breaking above the 785.87 for Meta today. We could possibly have trouble again, 786.72. Why? Something stopped us here in this area here. So breaking that brings us back to the 787.52, 788.60, 789.95, 791.25, and breaking that 791.25 for Meta today, 792.64. It could be a rejection area, and should we break that, 793.67. So those are possible areas of rejection for Meta today. Now if we lose this area of 784.28, I got to get those numbers right, 784.28, breaking that brings us back to, we could use the 220 EMA, the 50 EMA, and this ATR trailing stop. In my opinion, that could be a strong area of support around the 782.75. So if we should break this level of 782.85 for Meta, or 782.75 for Meta today, we can come back to the 780.59 or the 780.60. Again, we're back at a strong area of support, in my opinion. That ATR trailing stop, a level that we have marked, and the 200 EMA. So let's say if we lose area of support around the 779.72, in my opinion, that's going to be a strong area. Losing that brings us back to 778.43, and should we break that, 775.96, and breaking that level brings us back to 774.03, 773.32, and breaking that level, 771.93. So those are possible areas of support and resistance for Meta. Again, I say y'all trade carefully, because in this market anything is possible, right? So we do have a few inside day candles. Again, AI is one of those. Should we break above $18.57, upside target $18.75. Now to the downside for AI, if we break under 1760, downside target 1698. Let's see how much AI normally moves, about $1.55. That is the ATR, or the average true range. So if AI is something that you trade, it is an inside day candle today. I say mark your levels, not financial advice. Now we are Carnival Cruise Line, CCL, is also an inside day candle today, and we've already tried to break through that trigger, which was at the $30.31. You see, we got rejected at this ATR trailing stop. In my opinion, that's a strong resistance or a strong support area. So breaking this $30.31, we have a possible target today of $30.66 for CCL. Now back to the downside, under 29.86, downside target 29.69. Let's see how much CCL normally moves, 90 cents per day, y'all. Keep in mind that is in either direction. So if CCL is something that you trade, it is an inside day candle today. Google, or Alphabet Inc. C, is also an inside day candle. The trigger to the upside was a 205.53 with an upside target of 205.58. And as you can see, we're probably going to reach it. We're really close to that. Again, not financial advice, right? So I would say if you're trading Google or Alphabet Inc. C today, GOOG, trade carefully. Right now, back to the downside. So can we get rejected and come back to the downside? Anything is possible, right? So back to the downside, under 202.28, downside target 198.51. And let's see how much we normally move per day, $4.10. That is the ATR, or the average true range for that Google Alphabet Inc. C. So if that's something that you trade, I say it often, y'all trade carefully. Microsoft is also an inside day candle for today. So above 526.22, upside target today 532.79. To the downside for Microsoft, under 520.20, downside target 519.51. And let's see how much Microsoft normally moves, about $11.32. Again, y'all, in either direction. So if Microsoft is something that you trade today, I say it often, y'all trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your why, your reason for getting into the trade, make sure you get out, have the discipline to get out. So we're now looking at the SPY, and it seems like we're making higher highs. The SPY is doing some interesting moves, right? You know, We closed at 644.95. We have a pre-market high of 647.13. It was trading in this little gathering spot here, only to come down, find support at the 50 EMA. As of now, 645.61 is the support area for us. We came down, tested that 50 once, went back up, got rejected, came back down to test it again. So are we going to break through? As of now, the resistance 646.21. Breaking that brings us back to around this level here to possibly have trouble at 646.49, and breaking that level we could possibly have trouble again somewhere around the 646.75, not very far away, and breaking that 647.13. Now breaking this 647.13 means we're making higher highs, so I would say trade carefully, right? So let's say we lose the area of support at the 645.60 for the SPY. The next level here is around the 645.22, and breaking that, the ATR trailing stop is right there at 645.11. Breaking that brings us back to around this level of 644.38, and breaking that 643.82. Breaking that level 643.24, 642.84, 642.35, which is where that 200 EMA, I just like to see that. Breaking that for the SPY today brings us back to 641.99, 641.53. And should we break that, the next level is 640.28. So today could be a very interesting day. Let's see that. So we are now looking at Tesla, and y'all know what I said. Often Tesla does what Tesla does, right? We closed at 335.58 after coming off of this high yesterday of 341.48. So where are the trouble places? As of now, we're trading in this gathering spot or consolidation area, as I like to say. Support is around the 335.48. Resistance was here at the 337.33 area. Keep in mind this candle has not closed yet, so we're going to say the resistance is 337.33. Breaking that, there's a few layers of resistance, including that ATR trailing stop 338.43. Breaking that level 338.83, 339.19, 339.59, 340.12, 340.42, not far away, 340.85, and 341.18. Breaking that brings us back to 341.60, which is the high here from yesterday around that area. So those are possible areas of resistance for Tesla. Now back to the downside under 335.48, 335.17, 334.77, 334.28, 333.77. Breaking that brings us back to 332.99, which is this area here. Should we break that level, there's a few layers at the 332.58 down to the 331.84, so we could very well get stopped out, let's say, in these areas here. So if you're trading Tesla today, you know, those are possible areas of support. Now back breaking this 331.84, 331.52, 331.04, those are possible areas of resist or support. We talked about, yes, possible areas of support, y'all. So again, this is what I see when I look at the market. I say it often, y'all, there's so many different ways to trade the market. And again, what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you, and for you to have the discipline to execute your plan. Make sure that you have a plan before entering the trade, and once it goes against your why, get out. So again, I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day today. If you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.